Let's get into the movies that hopefully most people loved, because half of this next segment for the Golden Globes is congratulating them for getting it right. Yeah, and then remembering we're covering the Golden Globes. The Golden Globe Awards happened yesterday. They streamed them over on Paramount Plus. Good jokes on all sides when it came down to hosting and streaming jokes and all that. But you got a breakdown here talking about your 4 big segments for the show. But I want to know overall, yay or nay on the Golden Globes?
I think it was mostly a yay on the Golden Globes. You know, they've garnered a reputation for being kind of the wacko award show that makes strange choices because they're susceptible to bribes, right? So this is the award show that gave us the
Ohtani show right
getting
here.
nominated for a couple stuff. Legendary like Pia Zadora many years ago winning an award.
I got one. I won. The Tourist.
Yes, yeah, the Angelina Jolie, Johnny Depp movie that nobody liked, but somehow got a couple nominations here. Like, there's always been a couple weird ones. Or another one was when they gave Aaron Taylor Johnson the win for Nocturnal Animals, and then he wasn't even nominated at the Oscars. Remember that year?
Yeah,
that was a strange one.
The Martian comedy.
What was that?
The Martian?
Oh yeah, The Martian as a comedy. The classic comedy Martian.
Come on.
The Globes do have a history of doing a lot of smoothing things out to include more celebrities, get more people to show up to their award shows, stuff like that. It does not seem like that is the Globes we have now. The Globes are a lot more similar to basically film Twitter sentiments. For the most part, the things that won were online favorites. And I think a lot of that is because, as we've discussed previously on the podcast, Penske Media is now one of the owners of the Golden Globes, the company that also is one of the owners of Variety and the Hollywood Reporter.
Look at you go deep.
Deadline.
Okay.
So I feel like a lot of what we're seeing now is like the awards machine on websites like the Hollywood Reporter and Variety, then sending those same people to vote on these awards and give the things that were front runners the awards anyway, right? Like,
there was an MCU thing. People complained that the new MCU character, that's not what they did in the comics. So they started putting it in the comics, waiting 10 years, and then announcing it for the MCU. I thought that was genius. So you're telling me they pretty much, a lot of the public opinion that you see online is the pre-work.
Yeah. So, it just kind of feels like they're satisfying what people wanted to see, right? Like, oh, people are really into the substance. Oh, we'll get a Demi Moore win in there. You know, people are really excited about The Brutalist. Well, Brady Corbett's going to get Best Director.
So you don't feel they're really honoring them?
I think a lot of it is sort of buying into public sentiment, right? Like you
fixing their image.
Maybe it is fixing their image a little bit because they know they want to like have a reputation of like,
we're good.
You know, we're good. We get it. We see what you're thinking and we think it too.
It's almost yes, literally that. We just like you guys, right?
Exactly.
They're trying to see if they can get the Oscar picks right.
Yes.
They're not giving out globes. They're trying to get... Dude, there was a certain point as we get to these where I saw them giving speeches and I went, wait, are they giving a speech for the award they got, or are they auditioning, hey, Oscars, look how good of a speech I can give you.
Exactly.
But it's your trophy. Holy smokes.
Yeah. But, like, I think what it did result in was, like, mostly a fun show with things that we think deserve to winning. And I don't know, like, maybe it's a little bit like... I'm suspicious of you giving me exactly what I asked for, but like it's better than fucking The Tourist winning again or some shit. Not that it won. Anyway,
The Brutalist
I enjoyed it.
Winning.
It's cool.
Is not detracted from an Emilia Perez win. I'm curious.
I mean, that's why things aren't perfect, and we can get into that stuff
one for us,
too.
One for them is like, damn it, I knew it came with a price. All right, let's go.
What did you think about just the flow of the show, though? It ended up being 2 hours, 18 minutes without commercials. To me, it felt a little bit long.
Yeah. Do you have something to pinpoint? Because I do. I got two things to pinpoint.
I got two things to pinpoint. One is the presenters.
That's my first.
it's always great when they got a great bit, when their timing's right. It is almost always not the case. The writing is usually terrible. The actors aren't rehearsed. Oftentimes, it seems like the teleprompter just doesn't work. And
or they can't see it.
Yeah, and it's it ends up being the clunkiest part of the show. You get Nikki Glazer comes on stage to introduce the people who are introducing the movies, and it's not tight at all.
Did you say, is Seth Rogen still going on? Because that lasted.
He might be.
Way too long, dude. And that's where I find the disrespectful side of it, because it's like, how many of you guys are doing this comedic bit with how much you hold? Because Nikki did a couple jokes where she would hold it. But a real comedian knows, don't get obnoxious with it. Waiting 2 seconds can feel like the 10 seconds that Seth Rogen was doing. You don't actually need to waste people's time. My second one, why is it always in this tight room? It's always in this bit where people are missing half their dress by the time they get up to the stage. They're going down I-90 trying to get up the stairs. And then out of nowhere, I'm writing my jokes down for the video. And I'm like, bro, they have GPS. Dude, it took me half the thing to realize that they were
the GPS trackers for the nominees.
And I was writing down someone going, getting lost, rerouting, calculating drive. And I saw the GPS things come out. I was like, that's God right there, bro.
So silly.
It's almost like they're aware of how ridiculous it is. We had one of the funniest, I think, speeches was Baby Reindeers when she went up there, got caught up and said, I almost showed y'all my globes.
Yeah.
Fix it, bro.
Yeah, we love Jean Smart here, big Hacks fans, but like she's a 73-year-old woman and you're sitting here like in the back of the auditorium.
Knowing she's going to win. This has been happening since Rami won for the first season of Rami?
I was like, I don't think I need to help you with that one.
Rami, thank you. And he went up there all the way from the back that his killer joke was, I promise I'm an actor. You guys think I served you before this. They've never changed it. And it's weird because it's like, okay, Rami was maybe a shot in the dark. Like you said, Hacks, she should be front row.
Yeah, I mean, like they got those tables so tight in there that like they're sidestepping their way to the stage. It's ridiculous. And also
Keep the Nobu.
They just never figure out what to do in that interim. Like they're trying to drop fun facts. Like, did you know Richard Gadd's stalker sent him 4,000 emails?
Some were interesting. Did you hate that, the fun facts? I thought when the presenters were coming up, some were completely pointless, but some were interesting.
Yeah, I thought some were interesting, and I like getting them. I just think that like there were a few that felt a little bit like, why are you telling me this now? Or like they're almost so
See,
relevant.
That's what so some of them were just like basic fun facts. Sometimes the guy would show you one and say something else. Sometimes he would just read the same fun fact that was there. There were some that we found out, and it's a mixture of, I'm glad we found them out. They're so terrible, I hate we found them out. Emilia Perez announcing after their win that they added the music after finding out.
Stuff one.
What? Why would you say that?
Yeah. I mean, well, they already got the award, so.
Beflo wins and they tell you, yeah, this guy did it all. This, and this, and on Blender, which is for free. And I'm like, okay, that's a good fun fact.
Right.
It was a mixed bag with them, so I thought it was a little okay, but
yeah, look, they're trying something. I guess it's better than dead air.
Camera work was bad. Some people would say my family, and then they wouldn't show them until later. Adrian Brody had this really big one, and they could not find them. Mm-hmm. And I get it, because prior someone mentioned someone, and these idiots put it on the wrong person. So I get that. You're going to risk show them or show the wrong person. But did you see, even on the nominees, they had Cate Blanchett's head wrong when it came to her square?
Yeah. Was it Hiroki Sonoda who they missed at first? So one of the...
They were showing someone else, yeah.
Yeah.
And even when I think it was someone really big, Glenn Close comes out, and they cut to a camera on the other side in the middle of the broadcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
Y'all are up for awards too, Golden Globes, and y'all not getting the nomination for the Emmys.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, the awards, the speeches.
So, I mean, what else was there?
Let's talk Nikki.
Oh yeah, we should talk about Nikki Glazer, the host. I thought she was really solid. I kind of would give her overall performance like a B+. Like it's not like the top tier, but it's really solid. I wouldn't be upset to see her host again. You know, her monologue was like funny and sharp, but it didn't get full like Ricky Gervais, look at me
cross the
making
line,
fun of
yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, but he already did that, and he was in such a space where he knew to do that. I don't know if you heard about her. She said she called him up or texted
really?
him, said, "Yo, can you give me any feedback?" He jumped on immediately, said, "Just do yourself. The roasting, all that. You just got to be you, because you're not them." Mm-hmm. And that's all he comforted her with. It's like, you're there to do your bit, not to impress them.
I mean, the main
and she
thing
balanced
is,
it.
Yeah, the main thing is, like you said, she is like very adept at those roasts, and she's gotten a lot of reps as a stand-up. She knows kind of how to control an atmosphere like that.
Yeah.
And just in comparison to the many times we've gotten like people who just don't have that stage experience, I think she handled the show really well.
She had a rhythm of threes where she would do the setup. She'd go one joke to see if people found it funny, and the real joke was on the third. And I thought that was so clever from her. Yeah, I liked a lot of how she approached it, and she watched the movies. She didn't She did not nerd out and let it be known, but she did these accidental slip-ups, and the one that really got me was when she said Tedesco up 31. Only this table gets it, and I was like, yo, you actually took the time. I appreciate you. She said her monologue. She toured it in private clubs until she got it tight. I was like, you know what? All I can ever ask for is someone who gives a damn. Thank you.
Exactly.
Nikki. Good
right.
job.
Like, you know, we're all watching these movies because we care. Don't make fun of them. Like, don't belittle the night. Like, this is a special event for a lot of people for a reason. And I think
you liked her Joker 2 joke though.
Oh yeah, I did. I also really liked her joke. The hardest working actors in show business are here. Your waiters. That was a solid one.
That was a good one.
I'm always happy to see my boy the Sandman get a shout out. Chalamet.
Pre-written or not? I think they just went to my man.
But he was mic'd is the only thing. Like,
but they have the mic. I thought the same thing, but I think they have the
shotgun
mics on the things. Yeah. Either way, it works. And those are my favorite bits. But I think I love it even more because I think he just hit it for her.
Yeah.
Her impression was great too.
It was. And
I liked it.
One of those moments where you could tell there's love there.
I loved it.
Really
very good,
that.
very good.
Did you like Popular?
I'm only going to say it to you. I did laugh a little bit. And I laughed because of the bit of her cutting it off immediately.
Yeah, it was good.
Her staging, bro. She knew when to, even beyond that one, she knew when to stand this way to give you the look.
Profile. Yep.
Did you see Glenn Powell's? Go back to his nominee. This man went, oh, well, you sick, bro. I know everyone's sharing Spider-Man. I know everyone's sharing
Garfield.
Spider-Man.
No, Powell came prepared.
Had no business. But Glenn Powell was clean. He always knew how to look up to the camera. Very good.
Yeah. Ariana was another one who was performing a lot for the cutaways.
But that's Ariana.
That's Ariana. Yeah.
That's Ariana. I did like Popular. I thought it was kind of goofy.
Yeah, and I thought the whole leaderboard of the things that get mentioned the most was also a funny bit.
No, that was the best joke of the night. My second is the Ben Affleck bit, which I'll let y'all experience that one. Very good bit. The funniest joke of the night was God created the universe. 0 mentions. Mario Lopez of Access Tonight. 1. Dude, that killed me. I think it's one of the best. I think it's the best joke of the night.
It's also a joke that plays in all 50 states, I think, soon, you know?
So good. But yeah, no, she did a solid job. And for the most part, she didn't overdo anything when it came to a lot of just tossing it to the presenters.
Yeah, so that also gets at the gulf between how funny most of her bits were and how unfunny most of the presentations were. I don't know if there were any presenters that you liked
Good or bad?
The most, or
okay, the most.
Yeah.
The first person I had told you that I thought was pretty good. Moana and The Rock were one of the first ones. I like the introducing bit of saying her name correctly, not The Rock's.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Substance, one of the better ones.
Yeah, a little bit awkwardly performed, but fun.
Awkwardly, but because it's that bit of, do you have writers up there or do you have actors? And Mindy Kaling was an actor writer, so when I was running through the Globes again to cut it up, I thought theirs was okay. Yeah. After everything we saw, I thought theirs was even better. Right? I did not write something for Hudson.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford started awkward. I enjoyed it by the end.
I loved Bink Bink Bink, but I hated Ford having to be like, bro, read the damn prompter, bro. Can you just read the prompter? Anthony Mackie and Sophia, whole night just yelling out of their chairs. This is why they don't let us into nice places. Jodie Foster for 1 second after the win was like, I don't know what to do with this lefty night. Think about it though, right? I get you're gonna lose, but like she lost to Jodie Foster the entire run, and we don't think of ourselves as like that big either. But like to lose to Jodie the entire run, Golden Globes, as we know, probably the last thing they're seeing each other. She's like, not the one. I thought that was funny, bro. I told you.
So, go ahead.
I just don't like Rogan. I did not like Rogan's and Catherine O'Hara's. It was funny for a bit, but it overstayed its welcome to me.
That's the
thing.
thing.
And I thought Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh. My joke is, I'm making a compilation. You had called them Film Twitter. They just gave Letterboxd reviews. So corny, bro.
Yeah, reads your reviews ass bit for sure.
Wow, that goes with the Ariana thing you were saying. It was like, they just knew. I've never seen a Golden Globes that tried really hard for the gifts.
Yeah, and the presenters, there was a lot of that going on. Maybe the highlight though was Hey Dwayne, probably that.
I thought someone got slapped. That's how good I thought that was. What'd you take on it? A real funny bit? Or did they fix it? Because that did not seem fixed.
I think that was not planned for sure. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the tension.
My brother looked at me, and Alina's the one who really broke it down. She goes, like, that's a diss. I was like, they filmed part 2 together. And she goes, right, no. So he came out, said, hey, Dwayne. Anyway, they called me for the box office movie because they knew who to call.
Right.
That was mean.
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, it's the kind of thing that we don't see much of at award shows, but
yeah, but that man was wearing double decker everything. You should be careful. Dwayne's gonna knock him, bro.
You mentioned
hey.
it.
Wait, hold on. I got another one. You're not gonna get Chris Rock. He's gonna get The Rock, bro. No, dude.
That's
Damn.
tough. Yeah.
It was a hard line. It was a hard line, though. Hey, Dwayne.
It was. I mean, it's subtle, but it's like just enough.
It was good. It was good on his app. Yeah. It's a dumb award, but it was good on Vin.
Well, that's another thing that we could talk about is that Vin Diesel did give away the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award to Wicked. It was the only award that Wicked won on the night, despite many people thinking he might have been a front runner in some categories. And this award still remains to me a very amorphous, weird, unnecessary thing. It's not the movie that made the most money, and it's also not the movie that surprised with how much money it made. Like, what this award should probably be is a reflection of box office in percentage compared to its budget, right? Like, that long legs, and it ends with Us, movies that aren't, $100 million blockbusters, but became big money makers.
Am I racist? 1 mil?
Honestly.
At least consistency, right?
More. Right.
I got a good Am I Racist joke. Did you hear all the Oscars? Movies not eligible for Best Picture, including Woman of the Hour, including a lot of these films that are like filled with like I'm trying to name. It was like a lot of very obvious ones.
Yeah, diverse films.
Diverse films
from Andrea Arnold was another one that is eligible for Best Picture.
Yeah. Unbelievable stuff. And then it turns out that it was that they didn't really do the paperwork.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Zachary Shevich, tell me why the people from the Daily Wire did the paperwork to fit in.
They just want to be seen. They just want to be acknowledged.
Why are you tap dancing? I thought that was what you were against.
Right?
Holy smokes. And now I want to see all the movies not qualified because they were like, yeah, I'd rather not. Oh, The Homie. They were like, how's The Homie not? They just didn't fill it out.
Exactly, yeah. Like
you have to pay fees.
They're not getting a Best Picture nomination for their
damn, it's Art from 2017 telling y'all these rules were lame. Yeah. Half of these movies should be up, and they're not getting them because they didn't pay a fee.
Yeah.
But Daily Wire did. Let's keep it going, bro. That's just so funny to me. It's so funny.
Cinematic Box Office Achievement, just to talk about it for a little more.
What about it?
It also is extra lame to me when you get up and you give a speech like you just won Best Picture. Like, John Chu put it all out there. That was his Hollywood moment.
Right? It's like he's not going to speak again. This man went up there, gave the speech. He thought he was at the New Hope Folk Festival, and he just performed that Bob Dylan song. He has one of my favorite moments of the show. You know when you're spitting and you're going really hard. You forgot where you were for a second. He starts talking about change and loses where he's at. And I'm like, this is the funniest moment. It's so true. It's so real. He got it back.
So excited.
No, he got it back and he landed it well. But there was that moment where he forgot where he was, and I loved it because they just told him go out there spit, and he did. He spit, and then at the end, yeah, he thought he had solved cancer or something. There, he gave a speech.
It was a
like
lot.
He changed the election or something. Oh.
I mean, look, Wicked is a anti-fascist film, don't you know?
Bro, how are you losing best comedy or comedy and musical? How are you a cinematic achievement and losing comedy musical? They're telling it to your face.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into some of the winners. Do you want to start with our favorite wins or our least favorite wins?
No, let's do the good because we can vent until next week.
All right. So I think when we're talking about the good wins, to me, the best place to start it off is with that Demi Moore win for Best Actress. A bit of surprise for me. Not a complete shock because people are really responding to the substance, and it kind of feels like she's become almost like the vehicle through which people show their appreciation for this movie. Mm-hmm. But she's got the narrative behind her, right? Like she's this major star who has been working for years and years without this kind of recognition. She said she's never won anything as an actress. That technically isn't true. She did win Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards, but a little bit different than winning a Golden Globe.
Just a tiny bit. I like when people go, I used to measure myself with a stick, and now I will not be measured by anything. Except this Golden Globe.
I'll be measured by the one in my award wins column. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly like Demi Moore has lived a life where she's been oppressed much. I guess, like,
dude, no, I'm so glad she's welcomed into Hollywood now.
Right. Like,
it's a little funny.
It like sucks to be told that you're not like dramatic film material, but I don't know, maybe the money and the fame will make up for that. I'm still happy for her.
I'm still happy for her too, and I think that's one of the first categories to look at as do you see it being shaken up much once we get to the Oscars?
So I think that despite Demi winning this category, it's still up in the air. One of the other wins that we haven't gotten to yet, which is another one I was really excited to see, was Fernanda Torres' win for Best Actress in a Drama.
What I tell you, bro, I was not expecting that one. I was so happy for her.
Yeah. So, like, we're talking about a couple performances that are really excellent. One of the ones that I think is totally worthy as well, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, not acknowledged. So, like, I think this is still a pretty up in the air category. There's still a lot of time, right? The nominations haven't come out yet, let alone the final stretch toward the Oscars.
Yes, but I feel out of the 5 comedic musical and 5 dramas, we are going Anora, Demi Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on the third one over here. I'm missing. I don't even think it's challengers.
Wait, are you talking about actress or are you talking about picture?
Actress.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be Mikey Madison for sure. I think it's going to be Demi Moore. I think it's going to be what was
Torres, but that's not in drama. And I hope
Right.
Maria doesn't take it, but I feel like she will. Okay, I got the list a little bit better over here on but tell me yours if you got it.
I was going to say, I kind of feel like Angelina Jolie is fading a bit in actress.
Okay, so I still yet to see that movie, but I feel like she may be sticking in there surprisingly, and I kind of want to give it to someone else, right? So from the dramas, I had 2, and I think my 2 were not Kate Winslet. You've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, she's good. I wouldn't have her in there personally, but...
I still got to see The Room Next Door, but Tilda's in a lot of my list for other movies.
She's great. I don't know if this is the performance that I spotlight from her, but I don't anticipate she'll get the Oscar nomination personally.
So who's going in? Baby Girl, Angelina Jolie, or Pam?
I think it's going to be Nicole Kidman from this
group. You're going Nicole Kidman,
yeah,
and then Torres from I'm Still Here.
Yeah.
Out of this group, I'm going her. But then, like you said, for the Demi Moore one, Demi Moore.
She gets in almost for sure, I'd say now.
We know not Amy.
No.
Okay. Then it gets big.
Yeah.
So it is the comedy one that it's like, these are the ones that are going to get a real clean sweep. Does Cynthia not make it?
I see her as potentially on the bubble. Wicked felt
one.
like Wicked felt like a really strong contender for a bit, but I don't know, especially like it only got the box office achievement award from the Globes.
Do you think the Oscars feel differently?
About Wicked? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it go both ways. I could see Wicked getting a bunch of nominations. I could see it getting only a couple.
I'm sure you'll bring it up later, but the idea
yeah.
of like, this does not change the Oscars.
No, yeah, I'll
We'll
bring
get more
up,
into it, but yeah, you know that.
Yeah. I think Demi and Carla are the two from this category.
What?
Or I guess Mikey,
and Mikey
maybe as well. Yeah.
And then you're picking Zendaya out of. I think it's rough, but we're gonna get.
Yeah, I don't think Zendaya gets there. Unfortunately, honestly, Fernanda might be the one who's the most on the bubble of the ones we're talking
insane.
About.
I would not piss off the Brazilians like that.
These performances, and Marianne Jean-Baptiste is still not among them. And,
I agree.
We're skipping awards now, but she just picked up the National Board of Review's award for Best Actress. So now she
That's
won
American?
so she won or was it NBA? I might be mixing it up with another critic organization, but she won now the New York Film Critics Circle, the Los Angeles Film Critics Circle, and a national critics group. The three biggest critics groups all gave her the Best Actress prize. So
it bad.
would be a surprise for her to be overlooked.
Not get it, yeah.
It's a tough category. There's a lot.
It's a very tough category, and that's a good thing, in my opinion. Okay, who do you got next?
I was really thrilled for Sebastian Stan's win in Best Actor, Comedy or Musical. My guy from A Different Man.
Let me pull up.
Like, I thought had a pretty badass speech. There wasn't a lot of advocacy in speeches this year, but like he shouts out, disabilities and representation
From the jump.
Yeah. Shouts out Aram Schimberg and what's the other actor's name? Adam Pearson. Yeah.
Who great retweet from him as well, because they weren't there. Like, I don't know if they didn't get the invite or something, but it's still half-assing that movie in the way that we said since Sundance, that the movie is in and of itself. It knows what movies like this are complicit of. And it's so rare to see a movie like that, right? Like, even The Substance is funny because the girls are glammed up everywhere they go promote the movie. Ain't that ironic? This one, it did everything possible, and sometimes they're not inviting his damn co-star.
Yeah.
For reasons? Fascinating. I love this movie. This is a great movie. Been on a list in Sundance. Zach had to top his thing. And my man, bro, Sebastian Stan is just that guy, bro. He's so freaking cool. Great speech. I agree.
Yeah, and it's just also one of those performances that, sometimes you see a performance and it's so good you think like, oh, nobody's going to award this one. Like, this is like a...
Why would they?
Yeah.
This is the engine that could, no?
Yeah, I mean,
Gothams, Globes.
It keeps picking up prizes. I, at this point, wouldn't be completely shocked to see it pick up an Oscar nomination or two, too.
Best Picture winner. Hey.
I'm for it. I'm surprised by it, but I'm for it.
A Real Pain, A Different Man, those A's, baby.
Yeah, right. It's the year of the A's. They're back.
You don't see a surprise coming out from this crew? Hugh Grant, Jesse, any of them?
I don't think so. I think these are all the also-rans who are lucky that there is a second actor category at the Globes.
Agreed. Looking at the other actor that had won as well, Adrian Brody. Now having to pit the two together in that sense between there not being a split in genres for the Oscars. There's also Coleman Domingo in there. I don't know about Daniel Craig or The Apprentice's performance. And again, this is where I'm really pushing Timmy, bro. I know Timmy has to be there. I'm putting Fiennes in there. I'm putting a couple of other people. It's not as tight as the female one, but I'm picking Adrian.
I think my picks for who actually gets nominated are the 5 people we see here in the Best Actor category drama. I think Stan gets in for A Different Man instead of Apprentice.
Gotcha. I think they got to get Jesse or Hugh Grant in there. One kooky pick. Kooky pick. All right, but no, good on A Different Man. Good on A Different Man.
Any other wins you wanted to shout out?
Looking at some of the other ones here outside of acting, non-English. If we're not talking bad, so we'll wait for that. I will give the shout out to Flo, your favorite animation of the year, picking it up with three guys who gave a fantastic speech. And I don't know if you were able to see what the boys did after the fact.
They celebrated in Giamattian style by heading into In-N-Out.
I thought it was the funniest thing. For those who don't remember, Paul Giamatti last year, right? It was barely last year. Won his. No, 2 years? What is time?
Well, I think it is. Wasn't Holdovers last year? I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
What is time, bro? I don't.
Yeah.
He ate an In-N-Out. These guys ate an In-N-Out, and it turns out that they made the entire movie like off of Blender stuff. And I thought his speech was poignant, comparing himself to the cat. That in order to make a project much bigger than his previous solo ones, he had to work with a team and let go of a lot of stuff and just go with the flow. Beautiful, beautiful speech. The other speeches that were given from movies that we liked, just take it away. Best motion picture drama was a good speech, but it was that one he pre-wrote for best director.
Yeah,
I watched it again and cried.
Yeah, his best director speech was so thoughtful, and I felt like so humble as well, shouting out so many people who helped along the journey. His shout out to his daughter nearly brought me to tears, and then his acknowledgement of the people he's lost, as well as Aubrey Plaza. That
only person
that fully got there, Mayor. Yeah.
We were saying earlier she was going to present. I can't remember if she was nominated because of Agatha, but she would have been there, and I don't even know how they've crossed paths backwards. With him being a film actor and such, but yeah, that daughter quote especially. You look so beautiful in your dress. It makes this whole commotion of what I got us into worth it. Yo,
beautiful line.
Sit down, man. Relax. What a guy, bro.
But his second speech too, like
it was so good.
Was a bit off the cuff, just sort of like making the case for directors' visions and directors' cuts. Like it felt to me a little bit similar to Cord Jefferson's speech when he won the Oscar, urging producers to take risks and
save the money.
That's a message that I think we can totally get behind.
Let me toss Gad in there too, because I had missed his. I started driving home at that point, so I had to re-listen to it. I always want to say Josh Gad. What's his name? Gad from
Richard
the
Gad?
Netflix one. Richard Gad, thank you. He gave a similar speech in terms of like, hey, people didn't want to help promote this. Netflix gave the money to do so.
Yeah.
So he kind of gave a court speech as well. Although I did not like when he had said, save some for the little guy. And we cut to, what's the Netflix dude? Ted?
Is it Sarandos?
And he went, yes, excellent. Good speech for the company. It did make me feel a little weird. I'm not going to lie. But was there a better speech than Brady Colbert? The answer is no, but I'm...
There were a couple other really fun
good ones.
Yeah,
but his was the best, bro. It's the only one
sure.
I was texting out. Really good stuff. And you think he's a lock?
I wouldn't. There's almost nobody who I would say is a lock at this point. The only person who I might say is a lock is another person who I thought gave a delightful speech, and that's Kieran Culkin.
Let's go to it.
Yeah, I mean,
supporting, which again is for all the movies.
Yes, they combine comedy and drama for this one for whatever reason.
Yeah. All right. We'll start with the better one. We'll start with Kieran, who, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was just doing his Kieran Culkin thing, the sort of freewheeling kind of stream of consciousness line delivery that he is so good at. But
daughter stickers all up on the sleeve.
Yeah, that was a great look.
Good.
Yeah, he's just kind of a delightful presence, or the impish deviousness of his disposition. But we're always happy to see him, and he's a fantastic actor, and that's a fantastic performance, even if it is maybe a co-lead.
Is this the time to talk about it? Let me tell a joke, and then we will talk about it. Yes, he looked good. Not as good as our boy.
I mean, Jeremy Strong's always pulling up with fits.
I knew when he left because, well, all the green had dissipated from my screen for all the presenters when he was sitting right behind them.
Yeah.
I went, Zach, back through our list of Sundance. I had him as lead.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I mean, he is like almost all of that movie. Jesse Eisenberg maybe has like a little more screen time than him.
He comes in a little later, right? But then the movie ends on him. And I was conflicted with this because we have another one too that we've been arguing about. The Wicked Girls.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Cynthia for sure.
I think this is a situation for both the Wicked girls and the Real Pain guys, in that sometimes when you're in a movie with a person who is the same sex as you, they just demote the person who has a slightly smaller part or slightly less important part in order to maximize their ability to get nominations. So they're not competing against each other. And and that is the case for the female supporting category as well.
Let's just get into it, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. So Zoe Saldana was the first win of the night for supporting actress. And, I was actually like pretty happy for her because I have liked Zoe for a while.
Part of the movie.
Yeah. And she's, she was also so overwhelmed and crying and like half screaming her speech. She was just really feeling a lot of feelings. And for somebody who I think has kind of been undervalued for a while and buried beneath, Avatar CGI and Guardians of the Galaxy makeup.
She beat Thanos.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. I don't love this movie, and I don't think she's my favorite supporting actress part of the year.
Because she's not supporting.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's not fair compared to these other roles over here. I'm still going for quality, but if this is what the Oscars are looking for a big speech, I'm guessing it's going to come out of her, even though she is the entire beginning. You literally do not see the title character, who is just the title character because it's the title. But they don't come out till way later. Yeah. And if we're being very technical, that person don't exist, Zachary Shevich. So technically, they don't really appear until years later.
Yeah.
Good for her. Good speech.
Yeah. Not, I think, what either of us would have hoped for in that category. But
hey, if this is the only Emilia Oscar win, then sure.
Sure. I also think supporting actress is kind of a weak category this year. I'll say that.
A little bit, yeah.
Just before we move on to the bad, I will say one more speech that I found delightful to be Tadanobu Asano's speech.
She also had supporting, yeah.
Yeah, because he was just so seemingly surprised and appreciative. Obviously seemed like he was maybe a bit like unfamiliar with how the Golden Globe ceremony worked, but like. It's just like sometimes people can radiate joy in a way that is infectious, and that was what I got from him.
Yeah, I mean, he was so happy, even though he had to go film in Japan. I think a similar one is that we've seen these circuits, and when Penguin won, because it came out so much later, it was never going up against Gad for...
Big Reindeer.
Gad won everything. Yeah. This was the first time that I think Gad felt for the first time, wait a minute, I know Get Award, and it went to the Penguin. Stole it right from him, whereas you get this guy, and it's the complete opposite. The entire run, Shogun has won everything else, and he's just been the nominee. This is the first time he snatched one from Eben.
Yeah. Guess the Globes voters didn't like season 3 either.
Clearly not. They did this, and that's another thing too. This is where I meant, like, I felt everyone was copying. Like, everyone had the same thing, giving it to Hacks over Bear, doing all these different things like that.
So here, I think we can also talk about another thing that I found not great about the show, and that was the TV awards in general. Because while I think there were some surprises in the film awards and some really delightful wins from people that we haven't yet seen win a lot of these awards, the TV awards were really boring. Shogun won every category it was nominated for. Hacks won every category it was nominated for. Baby Reindeer won almost every category it was nominated for. It was clean sweeps all around.
I think that's also my point. This is the last award show to do it. We've already seen them be awarded. It's why,
you've already given your Emmy speech.
It's why Sophia went, really? You dragged me out for another one? But I agree with you. I think that's why one of the opening jokes was hilarious. We honor movies and hold space for TV. Fire, bro. Yeah. I agree with you. All pretty much the same. I mean, it's gotten to the point where my man's not even showing up to pick up the awards. And this time, I have felt it for you, even though I'm not gushing over the show all the time. I really felt it for the boys. And by the boys, I mean these two men over here who... I would be sick and tired showing up, losing to a dramatic role, and then the man's not even appearing.
Yeah, Martin Short and Steve Martin just like enjoying the free catering, grabbing some of the open bar.
Nah, I'm at the point where they deserve one, bro, and I'm not even putting that on my top 10. They deserve one. Great joke for Martin Short as well. He showed up because there was cameras.
That's one of the things I love too, is because they're always together. You get to see how funny Steve Martin found that joke.
Yes, it's so good. Shout out, obviously, Hacks, the obvious win, but it's the first time she said I've never been happier to be called a hack, and I'm like, wow, 3 seasons.
You
first time she used that one. Okay.
Yeah.
We already know. Great speech as well, telling everybody to just do your own, believe in yourself. From Hero and Anna. Also,
Sawai, yeah.
Very quick, to the point. Baby Reindeer, obviously,
Very
won.
cute.
Yeah, Hacks as well. Shogun, of course, with the win. You already vented on that one. Let's keep talking about Emilia Perez winning song. The worst fun fact. And then seeing French writers who don't know Spanish receive an award in an American category.
And
what?
And similar to the situation with Emilia Perez, maybe waiting a little bit too late to write stuff, because they were just kind of talking for a while.
Just like their music. Nothing's worse than the dead space where the song has to play and everyone's like, what is this?
Yeah. Kind of funny because Zoe Saldana was just so hyped she got up on stage with them.
Did you see her on the rewatch? She had the shortcut. I liked her energy. It was a lot. To me, it was a little bit too much, but yeah, she was very energetic with it. This better not be repeated.
It would be more appreciated if it was for a movie or for some songs that we liked, but I don't know,
you know what's hitting me now?
Yeah.
That they performed these at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Oh.
And to sit through 2 Emilia Perez songs at the Oscars is not exactly the thing I'm looking forward to.
Hopefully they get the monkey out there, for Better Man.
That'd be dope. Although the Oscars actually deemed that song ineligible, so it won't happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just, if El Mal is the best we can do for the best song category, I don't know what we're doing here.
It's just like the title. It's bad. Best original score, though, to wash a little bit off of our the bad taste out of our mouths. Fantastic speech. And dude, they just look at each other and they go, "You got it? I got it. Okay, I got it. Boom." Looks back. Your daughter, right? Yeah. Okay. Shout out the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
What do we? Yeah, bro. I want to get at their level. I want that.
Yeah.
We kind of had it. Sometimes I'll look at you. I'll be like, I know what music. You talking about the end? All right, let's do it. These guys are a well-oiled machine, and they deserve song.
Yeah, they are the peak of their craft, right? Like, who is more reliably excellent with film scoring than Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross? I personally wanted to see Daniel Blumberg win this one and see these guys win original song, but look, they absolutely deserve it. I mean, I felt a little bit like Elton John when they won, just shouting, "Yeah!"
It is, yeah.
You know,
because like you're saying, they're even more than reliable. Because, and I don't mean this as a diss, but Happy Days, Beautiful Mind.
Ron Howard. Yeah.
We know Ron Howard as a good director, but sometimes we say reliable, not a shade, but that they'll give them what they want. I don't think you've ever heard a score from them where it's like, it's exactly what the movie needed, that we didn't know, that went above and beyond something. They're always doing something fresh. In the speech, he even said it. We were waiting for the call. Peel it back, turn it down. And it never came, rightfully so. Please give them song too, man.
Yeah.
I want to see the song.
They deserve it.
Screenplay, I am very surprised because I love Conclave.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect that. I was going with the whole genre bit, that it was going to be Substance or something else. But we do still have that because of the fact that they don't split original and adapted. Yeah,
that is a good point. Although this might be a good place to acknowledge, since we didn't talk about it as much when Demi Moore won. Honora went the entire night without winning any awards. Some people thought Mikey Madison was a front runner for actress. Sean Baker maybe a front runner for screenplay or director.
Or directing, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel strange that Honora got blanked in that way, or is it just the Globes being the Globes?
It could be the Globes being the Globes, but I'm a little confused by it because I felt like they brought that movie in with the intention of honoring something, and this was a curve for me. I'm not mad at this one because I love Conclave.
Yeah, and this was Conclave's one night win on the night, so it got represented.
And worthy because that script is beautiful. The dialogue, the way it's written is fantastic. But I don't know. We're also looking at the Substance also being whittled down to just performance also. So I don't think we're going to see the same thing at the Oscars. I think it'll be a little bit more split. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean,
you and I like this when they give at least something to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Conclave probably is the front runner for adapted screenplay. You're looking at if you look at some of the movies that it won over there, like Brutalist is original, Substance is original, Honora is original. I think Emilia is competing in adapted, but
How?
maybe.
What did he adapt?
It was based off of the opera he wrote, but maybe I'm misremembering that.
Okay, let me tell you. We just went through our annual What is Adapted discussion. I know you and I are about to have that one again. We evoked the Barbie rule and everything. That's still original.
Yeah, I guess.
He's cheating then again.
Well, I think this is one where I think it was even in the news that they were like trying to switch the category, and they were, I don't know, man. But
yeah, because Whiplash, that happened to Whiplash, a movie that is original, but because of the short that they used to get funding for the feature, they got stuck with that as well. But yeah, Jesse Eisenberg for Real Pain, I would think, is also original. So
yeah,
we'll see how they end up splitting it up. But I didn't think it was a bad win. Director, as we had mentioned,
solid.
All the performances, all around.
I think the last thing that we haven't really talked about, because we mentioned that Brutalist won Best Picture Drama. We didn't talk as much about Emilia's double Best Picture win in Best International Feature and Best Picture Musical or Comedy.
Did it win for musical or for being a joke?
Why not both?
She gave a good speech.
That's the thing.
I like the final line.
I liked that in that moment, Jacques Audiard, lent the stage to Carla Sofia Gascon because, like, if Emilia Perez works at all, it is mostly thanks to like her bravery and vulnerability in the lead role.
Along with our lead / supporting actress.
This is Zoe Saldana.
Yeah. There was a funny bit. You saw when they went up there and they were like honoring the women of Emilia Perez, a movie all about women, and then the dude yelled at his translator for not being.
Yep.
You gotta love it. Good way to end the speech, but damn, not even waking up, going to bed and just seeing it. Emilia Perez is hated. I didn't realize I gotta start working on a video here because it is deeper than we thought. I think this is it. We'll just end it with some Emilia venting. Shout out the Brutalist. Shout out all the winners. Nickel Boys? Come on, y'all. Y'all got to give them more love. Come on.
That's my big concern right now is
weird,
that Nickel Boys might not end up in the 10 for the Oscars, but we'll see.
Nickel Boys and Sing are two where I'm surprised. I feel like they're getting Oscared for it, but
I would say that like the chances of us getting Sing, Nickel Boys, and A Real Pain in there are pretty low.
With how things have been turning out, yeah. I do want to talk about The Brutalist and how it released because I was hearing some people discuss that and I thought it was an interesting point about people forgetting, where's the movie for me? But that there's studios behind this, Yeah. But before we get into that, the Emilia Perez one, just really quick because I'll have to expound my thoughts later. There's a real big rift that they're doing of it being a French film winning American awards for a movie taking place in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Where many of them may not be Mexican. And you're causing a divide between Mexicans and Mexican Americans. There is always divides between cultures, races, colors, and the specific thing of Selena Gomez being a Mexican American who filmed this movie, Zach, as I found out. Oh, I'm so livid. That she wasn't a Mexican American. But after the fact, like we found out that they changed the music and added the music, her Spanish was so bad they had to rewrite a scene to add that she was a Mexican American. If you are not more insulted by that, because so many of you thought you were really smart coming up and pulling that one, you should feel more embarrassed that the movie baited you, knowing that you would be dumb enough to pick that up. They added it in post, Zach.
Oh, geez. I actually didn't hear that one.
That's worse than all of it.
I mean, it's kind of the only thing that makes her character make any sense.
And it was but it doesn't. That's what I said. I was like, that's not even an excuse for it because it doesn't really apply. Now I know exactly why it doesn't apply.
Yeah.
They're carrying this man's quote about, I didn't have to go learn anything more about Mexicans. I knew what I did. And I'm like, yo, like, I don't think you mean something better because I really like him as a director. I love A Prophet. I love Paris District 13th. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm like, we don't just say things to go off of the Twitter mode. I think he's a good director who did not take and craft this movie the best way, but he had the Selena thing. Why do you cast Selena and find out in post that she's not good in Spanish? Because you wanted her fans. So now you're going to have to deal with what comes with that. Her anti-fans. And they're breaking this down. I don't like the divide it's causing between Mexicans and Mexican Americans because Mexicans feel it's an insult to them, like from Mexico. And they see American movies, American award shows honor it. So they're seeing it like all the Mexican Americans love it, when that's also not the case. That's a crap. I didn't hate it, but that's a crappy rollout for a movie, bro. And I'll end it there.
I mean, yeah, it is really, in a lot of ways, not just becoming this year's award season villain, but just the movie with the worst discourse around it, whether it is the discussions of like whether it properly represents Mexico and the divide it's causing with Mexicans, Mexican Americans, whether it's the discussions in the trans community with, I don't know if you saw recently, Carla Sofia Gascon labeling a lot of the trans critics of this film as stupid.
Idiots. Yeah.
not the word.
Yeah, she had said the phrase, and it's like, bro, it's what we're always talking about, right? Dissing them is not going to get them to be on your side. And she chose the venting route, and I felt it. I get it. Her phrase was something along the lines of, just because you're LGBTQ doesn't mean you're not dumb. But it's like when you're arguing with a partner and going, I didn't call you stupid. I said the ideas that were coming out of your mouth were stupid. Right? Shooting yourself in the foot. And I didn't think that was smart.
Not winning yourself any favors.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I got to tweet out what I told you. Emilia Perez is this year's Crash.
It certainly is lining up to be. And I was telling, we were talking before the stream starts that, the last couple of years we got some pretty cool Best Picture winners, whether or not you were one of the people that was rooting for Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's a pretty interesting Best Picture winner. A lot of people were satisfied to see Oppenheimer win Best Picture last year. I feel like we're kind of sliding back, and we've set ourselves up. We're overdue for a Best Picture that people get upset about.
Through and through, bro.
That might mean Emilia Perez is winning, but I don't think that the thing that people have been suggesting, that because Emilia Perez and Brutalist were the two Best Picture winners from the Globes, I don't think that really matters much. I don't think that means they are automatically the front runners. What I was just saying, 2 years ago, Everything Everywhere All at Once won the Best Picture Oscar, but at the Globes, it lost to Banshees of Inisherin. 3 years ago, Coda lost at the Globes to The Power of the Dog. Both those movies won Best Picture. I really think Anora, Conclave, Wicked, even some of the other films, they still have a chance. There's a lot of time left for a surprise. We don't even know the nominees yet. Those of you who are old enough to remember the Argo year, there's no way that Argo was winning Best Picture until they snubbed Ben Affleck in Best Director, and then that momentum just started to build.
Yeah, because again, like we started this, I think it's more an audition. They want to know, can they build up some hype from it? But that's not the last one. I think you and I know that it's the SAG. It's the other ones where if it was a bit where the Globes are trying to see if they can fit in with the Oscars are also looking like, you're a Globe pick, not an R pick. And we know that. I think when it really came to fruition was Renee Zellweger's win and how her speech was all about, and it sounded a lot like the Substance speech for Demi.
Yeah.
Thank you for welcoming me back to the table.
Right.
Just throw all merit and all integrity out the window. It's another award that the president's giving out, Zach, putting it over people's stuff, and another... I don't know, man. It ruins the awards sometimes, but it's a mixed bag. I think we overall did have some good awards that were given out. All that really matters is the speeches, and I think the final note that I would give was that Brutalist rollout, as some people are noting online. Yes, they were waiting for a big gamble, which was the win. And the moment the win comes in, now people will show up to it. People don't get it costs money to put movie in theaters, so you got to time it right. Someone had mentioned, it was a Twitter post comparing it to A24 with The Zone of Interest. Made much more money then.
Yeah,
Brutalist now has that win, right? Then the Oscar nomination. And then if it wins again, what a rollout.
Yeah, the Zone of Interest is a movie that probably would have came and gone with almost no money made in theaters had they put it out early like people were hoping for. But A24 slow plays it. It gets a bunch of awards attention, makes over $50 million worldwide for a really strange experimental art film about the Holocaust.
Yeah. Is it always the best option? No, because people are then saying, we can see that the Brutalist is doing this, and this is good. Now, what is Nickel Boys doing, and what is Sing Sing doing? The same play!
Yeah,
Two teams play at the Super Bowl, one gets it. They went for the same one, and that's what happens. So, one of the movies is going to be SOL. And now they're stuck semi-releasing, but we'll see. There are more awards that people can push their stuff with, and I just hope Brutalist rolls out again this past week, or this upcoming week.
Who knows? Maybe somebody will leak it on Twitter.
as an NFT that you have to sign up for when you're downloading the Odyssey. There we go. Any other Globe stuff?
I think that
Not
just
too bad
about
of a
wraps
show.
it. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on the Globes, whose speeches you loved, which winners were good, which winners were bad. We're always interested to hear what the Intercuties think.
And always remember, hey, Dwayne.